Have you ever been turned away at a border crossing because you had the wrong travel document? It happens more than you'd think. And the frustrating part is that it's completely avoidable if you just know the difference between two things sitting in people's wallets and drawers right now. Today we're breaking down passport booklets versus passport cards, and by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which one you need, when you need it, and whether you should bother getting both. Let's start with the basics, because a lot of people genuinely have no idea the passport card even exists. The United States government actually issues two completely different passport documents, and most Americans have only ever dealt with one of them. The passport booklet is the one everyone knows. It's that dark blue hardcover booklet you stuff into your carry-on before an international flight. It's been around forever, and it's what most people picture when someone says the word passport. The passport card, on the other hand, is a wallet-sized document, roughly the same dimensions as your driver's license, and it was introduced in 2008 as a more convenient alternative for people with specific travel needs. Now here's where things get really interesting, and this is the part that trips people up constantly. These two documents are not interchangeable. They look different, they cost different amounts, and critically, they are accepted at completely different places. Understanding where each one works is the single most important thing you need to take away from this video. The passport booklet is the heavyweight champion of travel documents. It gets you into virtually every country on the planet that accepts American passports. You need it for international air travel, no exceptions. If you are boarding an international flight, whether you're heading to Europe, Asia, South America, Africa, or anywhere else, you need the full booklet. Airlines will not accept the passport card for international flights, period. The booklet also serves as one of the most universally accepted forms of identification on Earth, and it contains those visa pages that many countries stamp or place visa stickers into when you arrive or apply for entry in advance. The passport card works very differently. Its acceptance is limited to land border crossings and sea travel between the United States, Canada, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Bermuda. That's the complete list. If your travel falls outside of those specific corridors and those specific modes of transportation, the passport card will not help you. It looks official, it is official, it's issued by the State Department, but its utility is genuinely narrow compared to the booklet. So why does the passport card even exist? This is a fair question, and the answer comes down to lifestyle and geography. Think about someone living in El Paso, Texas, who crosses into Ciudad Juarez on a regular basis for work or family. For that person, carrying a full passport booklet every single day creates real risk. You lose it, someone steals it, it gets damaged, and now you're looking at a complicated replacement process and potentially disrupted travel. A passport card sitting in your wallet alongside your driver's license is just more practical for daily border crossings. The same logic applies to people in San Diego who frequently visit Tijuana, or people in northern states who cross into Canada regularly for work or leisure. The cruise industry is another big use case. Many cruise itineraries that depart from and return to American ports can be completed using a passport card instead of a booklet. This applies to closed-loop cruises, meaning cruises that start and end at the same U.S. port. If your cruise ship leaves from Miami, visits the Bahamas and Jamaica, and then returns to Miami, a passport card can potentially work for that journey. However, and this is a significant however, if your cruise ship encounters an emergency and you need to fly home from a foreign country, you are going to need a passport booklet to board that flight. Most experienced travelers and travel agents strongly recommend having the booklet even for cruises for exactly this reason. Now let's talk about cost, because money matters. As of the most recent fee schedules from the State Department, a passport booklet for a first-time adult applicant costs more than a passport card. Getting just a passport card is cheaper, and if you apply for both at the same time, you pay a combination fee that's more affordable than getting them separately at different times. The card has a lower application fee overall, which makes it an attractive add-on if you already need the booklet and you cross land borders regularly. Adults' passports are valid for 10 years. Children under 16 have 5-year validity passports regardless of whether you're getting the booklet or the card. Here's something that genuinely surprises people. Both documents require the same application process and the same underlying eligibility. You have to be a U.S. citizen. You go through the same identity verification. You provide the same documentation like proof of citizenship and a photo ID. The difference in processing is not really in the requirements, but in what you receive at the end. Some people assume the card is somehow a lesser document or easier to qualify for. It's not. Both carry equal legal weight in terms of proving your citizenship and identity. They just have different travel authorization scopes. Let me walk you through a few scenarios to really cement this, because this is where theory meets real life. Scenario 1. You're a college student spending a semester studying in Spain. You absolutely need the full passport booklet. The passport card will not get you on that transatlantic flight, and most European countries won't even recognize the card as a valid entry document. No card on earth substitutes for the booklet in this situation. Scenario 2. You live in Buffalo, New York, and you drive to Toronto pretty regularly to see family. The passport card works great here. It's accepted at land border crossings into Canada. It fits neatly in your wallet, and you're not risking your booklet every weekend. Scenario 3. You're planning a Caribbean cruise leaving from Port Canaveral in Florida and returning to the same port. The passport card might technically work, but considering the emergency flight scenario we talked about, most people with any travel experience will tell you to bring the booklet. It's the safer choice even if you don't legally need it. One thing worth discussing is the security and design differences between the two documents. The booklet has physical pages for stamps and visas, which obviously the card cannot accommodate given its size. Some countries, particularly those with more complex visa requirements, need actual booklet pages to affix documentation. The card uses RFID technology, a chip embedded in the card that border agents can scan from a distance for faster processing at land crossings. This is part of why it's so practical for frequent land border crossers. The booklet also contains biometric data and has numerous security features throughout its pages. What about using either document for domestic travel within the United States? Both the booklet and the card are acceptable forms of identification for TSA checkpoints at airports for domestic flights. So if you don't have a real ID-compliant state driver's license, either passport document can serve as your ID at the security line. The full real ID enforcement means that not all state driver's licenses are accepted anymore at TSA. So having a passport of either type in your travel kit is genuinely useful, even if you never leave the country. Let's address a common misconception directly. Some people think that because the passport card is cheaper and smaller, it's somehow a budget version of the real thing. That framing is misleading. The passport card is a purpose-built tool. It was designed with a specific use case in mind, and it executes that use case really well. The booklet is the universal option. Neither is better in an absolute sense. The right one is entirely determined by how you travel. If you only ever travel internationally by air, and you never cross land borders into neighboring countries, the booklet is your document and you probably don't need the card. If you cross into Canada or Mexico by car multiple times a month and never fly internationally, the card might actually serve most of your needs, though you'd still want the booklet for any unexpected international air travel. And if you do both, getting both documents simultaneously is the smartest financial move since you save money on fees compared to applying for them separately. Here's the bottom line you should remember after this video. Get the passport booklet if you only get one. It covers everything. Add the passport card if your lifestyle includes regular land border crossings, or you want a backup document that won't wreck you financially if lost or stolen, because replacing a card is cheaper than replacing a booklet. Think about your actual travel patterns, not your hypothetical ones. Where do you actually go and how do you actually get there? If this video helped you figure out which document fits your life, subscribe, because we cover travel documents, international travel tips, and everything you need to move through the world more confidently. Drop your questions in the comments below, because your specific situation might make a great future video for someone else.